Hey guys, Neil here. I've been getting a lot of questions about what lights should I get. Now, the challenge with that is that quite often people do not give enough information about what they're looking for. So I've come up with a series of questions that should help anyone trying to find lights to give other people giving them advice. So please answer some of the following questions when you're asking for the kinds of lights that you should get. Questions follow. What kind of events do you plan to use these lights for? House parties? Weddings? School dances? Each one of those require different sets of lights. A house party doesn't require many lights at all, or much lighting. A wedding, ironically, doesn't require that much lights either, but it does tend to look better when you're using more sophisticated lighting. School dances can go an enormous set of ways. However, the one thing in common is that the school dances require a lot more lighting than most of the other events that you will ever do. They're probably the most demanding on lights. Also, do you plan to make these lights flexible? Do you want to do live band, for instance, where you're going to require much more wash than anything else? Are you going to want to do uplighting to make a nice room much more sophisticated? Or are you only going to DJ? Important question. What style of lighting do you like best? This is important because there's various different styles. Do you like the old school where you have the mirror ball with the par lights the pin spots pointed at it? Do you like DMX derbies and so forth where they're all scanning, back and forth and so forth? The old school look. Do you prefer high-tech look where you have the scanners or moving heads, barrel scanners, things like that, which are going nuts across the room, all programmed? Do you like the LED effect, which is the newest of the styles, where everything is based on patterns? Those are the core 3 styles of lighting. You can mix them up, but usually you'll find that one style or 2 styles are more prominent than the other styles. Sometimes you can actually pull off an amazing look by only sticking to one style. Are you buying just once, or do you plan to upgrade in the future? If you buy just once, you're going to be looking at probably a smaller set of cheaper lights rather than buying the more expensive lights and then upgrading. Because the advantage of upgrading is you can always add other lights in the future, so you may be prone to buy more expensive quality lights that way. How long do you intend to use the lights? Are you going to be in the DJ business for 10 years from now, or are you just going to be buying this light for one house party? Of course, that's going to make a major difference in the style of lights that you pick. How important is power consumption? Can you use up to 2 extra circuits for lights? Or are you always going to be restricted and trying to find out the little bit of electricity that you can pull from this circuit and so forth? Certain lights use a lot of electricity, and it's not uncommon to have the lighting use 2-fold or 3-fold that of the audio sound system. Is that realistic, or are you going to be looking for LED lights, which you barely even have to think about power consumption issues? Important question and answer. Do you want to impress with quantity or quality? important because you can make a very impressive light show with a series of lots of view ones, for instance. View ones are cheap, but when you add them all together, they can look very impressive. Or are you wanting the quality, like a, for instance, classic one would be a scanner, you know, or the moving heads. They're expensive, but they do look stunning when they're programmed together and so forth. You may only need 2 of those to impress, whereas you'd need a lot more of the View 1s or other cheap lights to impress. Both ways can be impressive. It's just your own way and your own style. Which one do you like, quantity or quality? Are you planning to use fog and haze, or haze I mean? Some venues don't allow it. Do you know the venues that you're planning to use? Do they allow the fog or haze? It's important to answer because some lights look amazing in fog, but not at all that great without it, while other lights are only slightly affected by fog. All lights look better, but some look better than others in fog. So it's important to answer, because if you aren't allowed fog, you might look into LED pattern-based lights rather than the Derbies that are sending all these beams out and so forth. They rely very strongly on fog. So those are the questions that I've come up with to help guide what lights will be suited to you. If you answer these, in any person that is going to be giving you advice will appreciate the answers to those questions, because they will really help them understand what you're looking for and what you expect the lights to do for you. Practice and enjoy.